Thanks for tuning to Acquired Taste Media. Make sure you click the link in the bio, like, subscribe, you know what to do. Really appreciate the love. Make sure you guys subscribe, click that like button, click that thumbs up. We really appreciate all the support. And this is going to be our first episode for the Black Fathers Initiative of Cleveland. Basically, this is going to be the Black Fathers Podcast, BFP. And pretty much what we're going to do on this podcast is we're pretty much just going to talk about being fathers and, you know, helping individuals maybe get some direction or get some ideology on some of the things they could be doing with their sons. This is really a platform that would probably be more for the single mothers, you know what I'm saying, who have sons out there who, you know, may need some information and some knowledge on how to raise these young men to be, you know, kings. And that's what we're here for. So today's episode, I want to just, you know, pretty much just get down to the business. Today's episode is going to be pretty much about King Richard. Now, if you've seen King Richard, you know that's the father of Serena and Venus Williams. And if you've seen the movie, you've seen his parenting style, okay? Now, I've spoke to a lot of people about the movie. Everybody loves the movie. The movie's a great movie. But I've definitely gotten a lot of conversation about how he went about raising his children. Now, first and foremost, you know, nobody can tell another person how to raise their child. I mean, it's your kid. You're going to raise them how you want to raise them, regardless of what anybody says. But if, you know, if somebody could give you some direction, some structure, some idea of, you know, maybe some of the things you can do to help him be a better man, then I think that's, you know, that's all we're here for, and that's all, you know, we're trying to do. So with the movie, you know, a lot of the conversation I got was pretty much, you know, he forced his daughters, you know, into being tennis players. And yeah, he pretty much did. I mean, he did, you know, if you watch the movie and you've seen it, you know, he pretty much knew what he wanted to do and how he wanted to, you know, wanted his kids to grow up. And he did the things that he needed to do to make sure that they grew up the way that he envisioned. It was a lot of hard work. It was a lot of dedication. And like I said, in some people's mentality, they may think that, you know, it's a little too rough, a little too aggressive. You know, he didn't let the kids be kids and grow up and stuff like that and have fun as kids. And, you know, I feel like as a kid, you always having fun. I mean, there's times that you may be bored, of course, but you don't have to work, okay? You don't have to pay no bills, okay? All you have to do is wake up, go to school, and come home. So as a child, it's really not much you got to do to make your parents happy. So when it came, in my opinion, I feel like how he raised his children is pretty much how you know, probably all of us should be raising our kids. I'm just going to keep it real with you. The reason I say that is because, you know, it's gotten to the point now where our children, they're growing up not even knowing what they want to be in life. You know what I'm saying? They grow up, get out of school, like, well, shit, what am I about to do? What am I going to do for the rest of my life to pay these bills and pay back this money for college and things of that nature? So why not put them on a path that's going to, in the long run, make them financially free and, you know, in his situation, world famous, okay? He raised 2 goats. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's hard to do, raise 2 goats. But I don't think that's a wrong way to raise a child. I think that, you know, children want structure. They want discipline. They want direction. They want those type of things. So he was giving them to them, but he gave them to them the way he wanted them to have it, the way he wanted them to receive it, the way he wanted to give it to them, which was through tennis. That's where the structure came. That's where the direction came. You know, I feel like the movie showed a lot, but I know it's a lot that the movie didn't show. That, you know, they probably went through as a family, of course. But all in all, I feel like his way of raising his children is how we're supposed to probably raise our kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, really think about it. Like, if you came on and was like, yo, you see your son and was like, all right, you know, he a thick little dude, you know, he gonna be playing some football, right? So you start training him in football at a young age. Now, once again, you know, we can start going into the, oh, you know, you're not letting him have a childhood and all these other things, but what's childhood for real? Like, I forgot most of my childhood. Like, childhood, I mean, I can remember it being a great time, but really, childhood, that's not the most important part of your life. The most important part of your life is going to be when you become an adult, okay? And our job as parents is to make sure that our kids are prepared to be adults when they become adults. So if that means I have to, let's say, my son, he likes to fight a lot or he likes to punch a lot. So I'm probably going to put him into boxing. Let him box. Let him see how that goes. Okay? Because once again, you know, it's something where it's giving direction as well as it's giving him some discipline. Because, you know, when you go into sports and things of that nature, you know, it helps with discipline and things of that nature. As well as, you know, he could get off some of his, you know, blow off some steam, anger, whatever, if he mad. You know, I feel like it's just something that he's showing me now that I'm going to have to nurture. And if I do nurture it correctly, he can be successful at it. Now, that's just, you know, with that. I mean, there's other things that he can do and, you know, he's into it as well. But that's just something that sticks out in my mind. Because when you think about the King Richard thing, you know, I don't even know if they were even interested in tennis. Like, I feel like he just put a tennis racket in their head. But regardless, once again, those are his kids. This is how he's parenting them. And once again, it was successful. So it's kind of like you got to look at that blueprint and see like, yo, his blueprint is pretty good. Like, he has a pretty good blueprint on raising kids. And, you know, he raised his kids on a very expensive, an expensive sport. You know, tennis isn't cheap. So he raised them on an expensive sport, you know, to where, you know, well, any sport, when you really start getting into it, can become expensive because you got to pay for different things that, you know, different circuits and things of that nature. So, of course, it becomes expensive. But when you have the best, when you got the best world class, they're going to open those doors because they're going to see you're the best. So, you know, that's, like I say, I feel like, me personally, I feel like the way he raised his daughters was awesome. And I think that blueprint is a blueprint that we all can take some notes from, especially if we want our children to be as successful as the Serena sisters. You know, find out what they want to do young and nurture it, push it, or give them something to do. I mean, period. Give them something to do. Oh, okay, you just want to sit around and play games all day? All right, well, then we're going to start going swimming. Or we're going to start going to the park and playing basketball. Or we're going to start going outside and, you know, throwing the baseball around, throwing the football around. Or we're going to start going to the library and getting books to read at the library. Or we're going to start going. I mean, you got to give them something. You know what I mean? Like, this is what you're going to do. You know what I mean? This is what you're going to do, and period. This is it. This is what you're going to do. And you can do everything else you do. You're not missing, in my opinion, you're not missing out on a childhood. You just have a direction at a very early age to where you're going to be in the future. And this is going to be your focus. So, you know, once again, I think that's that goes for, you know, because of course in our culture we have a lot of basketball players, football players, stuff like that. So even with that, you know, I know a lot of people who talk about their children being basketball players, but they're not. They don't have a basketball hoop in the yard. You know what I mean? They don't. They don't. They don't have them in any basketball games. Okay, then I told you. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you to be quiet until I'm done? Didn't I tell you that? Are you gonna have to go upstairs? Huh? But but yeah, I feel like it's all about giving them that structure and giving them that direction because that's that's what's going to help them become successful as adults. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I stated, this is going to be our Black Fathers Initiative of Cleveland podcast. You can always go to the website and donate as well. And like I stated, we just want to be a community, a place we can come where we can discuss our children. We can discuss raising our children and some of the best ways to raise our children, maybe even dealing with conflict and resolutions with our children, but just making sure that our children have a solid foundation and we're giving them the knowledge that they need to become successful adults. So that's basically what we're here to do, as well as give the resources that they need to become successful adults. So once again, we appreciate the love. Make sure you click the link in the bio. Like, subscribe. Peace. Say peace, man. Turn around and say peace.